This episode of The Patch is sponsored by Hulu Plus. Hulu Plus lets you binge on thousands of hit shows anytime, anywhere on your TV, PC, smartphone, or tablet. Support this podcast and get an extended free trial of Hulu Plus when you go to huluplus.com/patch. That's huluplus.com/patch.
Hey everyone, welcome to The Patch with a giant hourglass.
That is quite an hourglass. I thought the last one was big.
Who sent this to us? Because it's wonderful.
I don't know who it was. Ray actually brought it to me. He said someone sent it to him.
This is Ashley, everyone.
They asked that he bring it by to The Patch. So Ray delivered it. We're going to have to find a special way to mount it because it's way too big. So for now, I'm going to move it aside. We're going to bring out Old Reliable.
Old Reliable's made it through,
we can just hang it so that it hangs like right here in the middle of everything.
There we go. What's a good not blocking Ashley spot for Old Reliable? Now I'm self-conscious about Old Reliable. Old 4-episode Reliable.
Good enough.
There you go.
All right. But anyway, The Patch is about video games, not hourglasses.
Well, it's going to be about both.
Despite the fact I love
What if you like to
hourglasses.
play with hourglasses?
Then we have a
Ryan
podcast for you.
Hey, PC gaming used to be all about hoping you didn't see an hourglass. I mean, honestly.
That's true. That's very good.
Wow, that's stretching, but I like what you said.
Yeah, it's like, what's your clock speed? Oh, an hour. It's
What's that in megahertz?
What is that? 1/60th? Oh no, not even.
Are you even in the megahertz or are you in the hertz point?
Oh yeah, it's hertz. Yeah.
Hertz,
yeah. Don't it? Anyway, video game news. First topic I want to talk about: the first expansion for Destiny has been dated.
Hey Gus.
What?
You forgot to introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Gus.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Gus.
Moving on.
Destiny first expansion pack dated December 9th.
The Darkness Below.
Which is going to be all about what's happening under the moon, under the surface of the moon.
Which we kind of already knew about.
Yeah, been there, done that, killed that guy 1,000 times.
Thanks to all those bugs and leaks.
Instead of turning right, now you turn left.
Oh, I always wanted to know what was left.
Well, I'm really curious to know if they're going to be new, like portals altogether, like new holes that you go down, or if it's going to be like additions to the existing holes.
Does it old holes?
Did you see there was a video a little while ago of someone who figured out how to glitch into, it might be not this expansion, but the next one, the House of Wolves, and it's basically just like right now there's a sort of a locked door that's just blocked, and they figure out how to glitch through it. So all the geography is there, but
that was on Venus, if I recall properly, that they showed that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
The Ishtar Temple.
That sounds right. It was in the Black Temple.
Yeah.
No, Black Garden.
Black Garden? Yeah, that's a place.
Yeah. So it was in there. And you could, everything's built, but none of the NPCs are there. None of the actual activities are there. So it's like it's probably the same with the Dark Below, where the stuff's built, at least most of it was already built.
It's just blocked off. You just don't know how to get there.
There's actually a lot of zones like that in Destiny. You just don't even realize you walk past it because it looks like just another piece of scenery, but they're giant doors that have just never opened and you've never been through. So they've got plenty of room there if they want to tack into it. The question is really, how much are we going to get?
That depends how many $20 you're prepared to spend.
That's right. How many you got in the pocket there, big spender?
So the Dark Below costs $20, or if you purchase the expansion pass, it's $35. So that saves you $5.
Yeah, but Jeff actually asked this, and he thought he had a really interesting point. So the season pass basically covers expansion 1 and expansion 2. So what happens after that?
I don't know.
I mean, unless they really deliver finally with some kind of story in these expansions real quick, which they only add 1 strike and 1 raid in the first one.
Yeah, so the Dark Below, I'll go off that. I have it right here. The Dark Below raises the game's level cap to 32. It adds 5 bounty slots, as well as new weapons and gear, including legendary and exotic items. Features 3 competitive arenas, Pantheon, Sky Shock, and the Cauldron, as well as Cooperative Strike Mission, The Will of Crota, and the 6-player raid mission, Crota's End. Then if you're on the PlayStation platform, you have access to the Undying Mind, a strike mission that's exclusive to PlayStation platforms until at least fall 2015.
So really,
even though Xbox people play the same, they're missing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the same cost either way.
So, but really, they've basically added almost no room there for any kind of story, right?
There's, I think they said there's going to be, what, 2 or 3 story missions, maybe? But there's definitely story because, see, the reason it's an expansion and not DLC is it because it contains at least one of each type of mission. Story missions and raids and strikes. But not to mention your arenas. And I don't know why I went into it.
Yeah, that was really voice. Weird. I was like, are we watching a streetcar named Desire?
Someone from a plantation in the ancient South was talking to me. But okay, so they've got 2 expansions. They get a little bit of story upgrade. Then where do you go from that? Is there going to be a second season that you then have to buy a second season?
Yeah, I mean,
pass?
you look at
Almost
it. So
certainly.
the game launched.
You think that it's not going to do a sequel, though? It's going to do another season.
I think they'll probably do another season.
Well, the game launched September 9th. The first expansion pass comes out December 9th. So it's like if they draw that line out, does the next one come out March 9th? And then what about the next 6 months after that?
Or to a year, because there isn't another Destiny announced yet. So theoretically, they'll keep releasing something every, 3 months? So this is the first season, and then so on and so forth.
All right. Yeah, it'll be interesting. At this point,
You did
we really
say
have
there were a
nothing
lot of doors.
We'd have nothing really to speculate with. I mean, there's a lot more planets, too. There's plenty of stuff they could go do, but I like the game, but it's really pushing it in terms of what are you getting for buying it.
I'm sure we'll start learning more now.
Especially because you have to keep buying it now.
Yeah.
This is when they're going to start promoting exactly and fleshing out what is going to be in there. Like first, here's the list, and then now we're in the period where let's expand on this one. Let's expand on this one. So I assume we'll learn little by little leading up to the launch.
It was kind of funny, but I've been playing a lot of Sunset Overdrive, and there's a moment, maybe an hour, 2 hours into Sunset Overdrive, where it's like, wow, Sunset Overdrive just delivered more drama than I got in my entire Destiny experience. Like, I actually cared about a character for more than Destiny ever made me even think to.
Who was it?
Well, I'm not going to say, because there might be a spoiler involved.
It's not okay.
Someone on Twitter just pointed out that in the UK, they have to pay £35 for the Destiny expansion, which equates to $50 to $55.
Yeah, well, I mean, they pay more for everything in the UK.
Yeah, but
that
it's
shouldn't
just
be a newsflash.
No, but it's just
oh, shit, we pay more than the US.
No, but it's just crazy. Like when you actually break that cost down.
Your
I know
money's
everything costs
also
more in the
worth
UK.
more, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
at the moment. We're taking it back someday.
One day you'll be our colony. we'll play some role reversal. I'm sure someone's written some fan fiction about that.
I've never thought of fan fiction about countries, but I like it.
From a historical perspective,
like the president and the queen go out on a date, or how does that work?
We didn't talk about Slash. We just said fan fiction.
Where do you think the UK would take the US on a date?
Definitely not Australia, right?
No, you don't think so?
What's like the most romantic?
They were a colony once. We were a colony once.
Where would we go on a date? I don't know. I just assume.
Do you think Australia would get jealous?
A pub.
No, Australia
That serves fish and chips.
Australia's already in that
kidney pie.
relationship.
It's true.
Yeah, they're trying to woo us back.
Polygamy countrywide. All right, I guess gaming was what we're here to talk about.
We just started something awful. Also, in other news this week, the CEO of DreamHack got booted from the organization.
He was bitter,
One of the most spectacular ways possible. I guess he was ousted and then took to Twitter to vent his frustration. He sent the following tweet: "Truth, honor, etc. don't exist. May DreamHack die an ignoble death. This is the last communication from Boss DH. A pox on all your houses."
I'd also like to point out that
How
he used the wrong your.
Yeah.
There's no apostrophe necessary there. And,
Or E.
Or E. And this is also debatable, but at least in most of the traditional versions of Shakespeare, it's a plague on both your houses.
Yeah.
Someone told me that
Shakespeare bird.
That it depended on the specific translation. I don't know how many translations you get of English, but
Shakespeare in English usually leads to a lot of...
Look, Baz Luhrmann used
well.
a plague on both your houses, and Baz Luhrmann, I'm sure, is law.
I'm sure that's the most authentic interpretation of Shakespeare.
Are you telling me that the guns called swords is not authentic?
He was ousted by his dad, by the way.
Really? He was ousted by his
Meg
dad?
just told us that he got ousted by his dad. That hurts.
Yeah, all I had
So
read was that
dramatic.
it was an internal power struggle. I didn't realize it was his dad.
He gave his dad all his shares during some misunderstanding with the idea that he would get them back, and then he went to get them back, and his dad was like, nah,
So-
and gave them all.
He, according to Meg, who I'm sure read this online,
He just did an interview.
the guy just did an interview. Apparently, he gave all of his shares to his father, while there was some trouble going on for safekeeping. Then when he went to get his shares back from his father said, "No, you get out."
By the way, being like, "Hey, Dad, can you hold on to these shares for me?" Sounds like there was some weird, shady business going on in the first place.
So the current CEO is their former events manager, Marcus Lindmark. The other thing I was going to say was the outgoing CEO also added via Twitter that he had just been sopranoed.
Yes, and I also like that the DreamHack people put out a statement being like, "This isn't a coup. We just all decided to get rid of him."
Wow.
Which is exactly what a coup is.
Did you see what he put on Twitter? Wouldn't you get rid of that guy too? Come on,
yeah,
right?
I guess there was also a previous interview with him that Meg showed me where he's like, "Yeah, so these are all the DreamHack people. They work. I don't."
Nice.
Which is a really terrible thing to say if you're like in charge of an organization.
Yeah, I imagine he's trying to be cheeky and be like, "Look how hardworking they are."
It's like, you don't say, "I don't."
Yeah.
But they went to his dad? I mean, come on.
Yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Shakespeare, look it up.
Oh no! Apparently, Hetalia is country fan fiction, so we'll check that out.
So is this
That's a
already
thing?
something that exists?
Yes.
Wow.
Says, I'm hearing, obviously, you guys haven't heard of Hetalia, and watch Hetalia for country fan fiction.
Well, we just reinvented something then.
Or we just spread it to a whole new fan base.
Yep.
Whoops! Sorry about that.
I don't want to know what happens to Florida.
America's Wang. So this week, I didn't get a chance to look at it before we came on the set today, but the Oculus exclusive film 0 Point came out on Steam earlier today.
Yeah,
Now,
which is
as
really
someone
weird.
who has Oculus on, like, you have an Oculus at your desk. Do you just sit down and like play with all the new stuff all day?
Sometimes, except I'm kind of scared to do it most of the time because they'll work with animals.
You don't want
work with
It's a
animals.
dangerous room to not be able to see or hear what's going on.
You don't want to be blind in there.
You really don't.
Anything could happen.
But this is really an interesting move in the sense that not only is it a movie on Oculus, but it's being released on Steam, which I guess is the best platform if you're trying to reach people that have Oculus. But
Well, I'm pretty sure Steam has Oculus support.
it does, yeah.
So,
But it's just
it does
odd.
make
I mean,
sense.
it's a movie though.
It's like, why
it's
wouldn't
not a game.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just distribute it
right, but
your own way?
but they also have what was the
Free-to-play.
Free-to-play was also distributed via Steam. So it's
That's
not
fair.
like it's the first time.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point.
So it works with either the first headset or the second headset. You need 4 gigs of memory, 2 gigs of hard drive space, and a processor at least as good as an i7 2600.
Which we have.
Yeah, and they have a free demo through Steam, I guess, and I think it's $12. Yeah, $12 until Monday, November 3rd.
I just installed the demo back in the office. I didn't have time to actually launch it before we came in here.
Now, is this Oculus Rift movie? This isn't the one being done by Vu Bui's brother, is it?
I don't know.
Let's see, this one I do not think so. It's where was it? I have it right here. The Dan Fung Dennis.
Okay.
So it's created and directed by Academy Award nominated director Dan Fung Dennis.
Okay, I know that Vu Bui from Mojang, his brother was working on an Oculus movie or shorts as well.
No, this one does not. I don't see his name attached to here, and he's pretty prolific in the industry, so I imagine if he was attached to this, that his name would be on this.
Sure. So we have multiple projects. That's exciting.
Yeah, so the regular price after Monday, I guess the price is going to go up to $14.99. So if you're at all interested, get it now before Monday, before the price goes up $3 for no reason at all. But I don't know how to feel about that. Like, I already have enough trouble processing gameplay through the Oculus. Like, watching a movie, it seems bizarre to me to go out and shoot a movie and be like, all right, we're going to give people access to this 360 degrees to watch what's going on.
Yeah, but the only interesting thing going on is right here.
Yeah, and basically it's completely destroyed the position of cinematographer, right? I mean, that person now no longer, well, if this were to be something that came to fruition, that person will no longer have a job, and nobody's movie experience would ever be the same.
It's just different. I mean, I think you still need a cinematographer to figure out how to lay out everything around you. It's just,
I guess.
and you're not just looking at one specific slice.
Their job has now become 360 degrees.
Right.
Ooh.
Although I like the idea that it's much more immersive when you're not looking at just a square, like through a window, it's all around you. But I also think that it could be kind of weird. If you can't look around.
You
like
can,
But if you couldn't, like that,
Yeah.
like you would be locked in. It's immersive, but still kind of weird. And then also, what happens when you do cuts? That would be really kind of confusing.
Cutting
and
is
jolting, probably.
Anytime you have a sudden transition with Oculus, it is really disturbing.
Also, what happens if you miss something? Like if there's like dialogue and you're like looking around, like, oh shit, what happened? Oh
Yeah.
fuck, they're gonna rewind.
You know, maybe they just have an arrow that pops up on screen like, hey, you're going to miss something. Look back over there.
Truly immersive. Just like in real life. There's something happening over here.
Yeah, hey, if you're not paying attention to the story, that's your fault.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, there are people that watch movies and they're just staring at little things down in the corner looking for dicks in Disney movies.
Yeah.
That's a whole class of people that watch movies.
I mean, because as it is, even with DVDs, when they were introduced, you know, there was the ability to change to different camera angles. That was, you know, included in the DVD spec and on most DVD remotes, and nobody used that except for porn.
Right. I was thinking, I was like, but those porn guys, they liked that,
That was
right?
it. I mean, nobody wanted to give the viewer control over the way that the message is delivered.
Which makes sense from a purely cinematic standpoint. So I'm not sure how prevalent something like Oculus movies will be, but as far as a gimmick, they're kind of cool.
Yeah, totally gimmick. You nailed it.
It's amazing, though. I mean, think about the scope of what that takes in terms of if you were doing an actual, you know, action movie or something like that. You look at all these, you know, directors that do like big one-take scenes. Now, not only is it a one-take scene, but it's a 360-degree one-take scene where no one in any direction can mess up or get off camera. That's
Makes
daunting.
Yeah.
You know what that makes me think of? That makes me think of just animation, just animated
Pretty much.
stuff.
I mean, that's exactly it. It's like that's why Oculus really works well with video games, is because that's something you can completely control what's happening. But people suck.
Also, there's no cameras or equipment you have to hide, and you know, it's just bizarre to me.
Now the director is the person sitting in the middle with cameras around his head.
Right.
And no equipment whatsoever. That's it.
It's like, yeah, it all has to be just like a stand, and all like the hard drives and everything you're recording is just right in that one spot because you can't put equipment anywhere.
Well, I think at least in some of the stuff that was just shown on screen, it was a traveling shot, so it's got to be like a hat mounted on somebody's head.
Riding a bike.
There you go. Yeah, or it could be a bike. Who knows? Well, you can't look down. It's got to be a very small bike, like a unicycle.
A unicycle. Clowns are going to have a new career path. What do you do? I'm a Oculus filmmaker, Oculus camera operator.
And balloon animal specialist.
Yeah, it's true. You got to key them out. Moving on, I think we've beat the Oculus Rift into the ground. So Rockstar announced some exclusive content for the new version of GTA, which is coming out here pretty soon.
A bunch of exclusive stuff, but it's only exclusive if you play the last gen versions and then upgrade.
Correct. So that's the way to get it all, is if you played previously and then go on. And you can also, I guess they're starting to clarify the way GTA Online will work, and that you have to make a one-time migration of your character from the old console to the new console, and that you can no longer play the old one.
No, you can.
No, you can play
You can. You can play the old one. What happens is it's basically like a one-time copy. It's saying that you can't move back and forth at will. Like once you do the upgrade, then you can continue on with that character.
So
then you can go back to last gen and you can play with the same character, but it's not going to have
It's
the
like a fork.
experience
There's
that
no
you've got.
bidirectionality.
Yeah, it's a fork.
And it's a one-time transfer, so you couldn't go back and do it again if you played a bunch more on the 360.
Yeah, it is cool that it doesn't matter if you were on Xbox 360. You can upgrade to PC or to PS4 or to Xbox One. It's based on your Rockstar Social account.
Could you upgrade multiple times? So like I played on 360. Could I upgrade it to PS4, Xbox One, and PC?
I'm sure you
question.
could, but you're going to spend a lot of money because they haven't announced any kind of discount.
What's the price on that? Do you know? I didn't see what the price was.
You mean for the
normal
actual,
dollars?
just normal top?
Yeah.
There's no upgrade.
No,
discount.
not an upgrade price. She just means to buy the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. I was like, I didn't see anything about that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, theoretically. I'm not going to obviously
Right.
do that, but if I wanted to.
Sure, Gus.
Come on.
Sure.
Sure.
But I am excited to get back into the game, hopefully, with heists finally. I know
They've
Well,
been
we'll
showing
see.
Single
They've-
player stuff too.
They've been on the heists.
Yeah, nobody said a thing about heists.
You know, but
you get a blimp.
yeah, it's a better blimp.
Yeah, so it's a blimp, some cars, and
Stock
get a-
car racing.
you get
a submarine.
A rail gun.
There's a rail gun.
The little seaplane. Yeah,
There's a
the Dodo
seaplane.
seaplane.
A new submarine, which I don't know if it's any more
Kraken.
interesting.
that one's my favorite, the one we're showing right
That's
now.
Oh, the
the
something.
Impante Duco Death.
Yeah.
Duke of Death.
It's supposedly nigh indestructible. I'm sure you can blow it up if you give it enough work. But,
It looks like the movie from
Death Proof.
Death Proof.
Yeah,
That's exactly
or
what I
the
thought.
car from Death Proof.
there's the railgun on screen, which it'll be interesting if all of those are available at transfer, or if it's again they've added tiers of rank requirements.
You have to get them.
It seems like you have to unlock. Like they spoke specifically to the submarine. Like you have to go and complete I think it was photography challenges in
Yeah.
order to unlock that.
And
Well,
the Duke of Death is another one where it says basically once you encounter it and then something trouble will follow, and once you take care of the trouble, then the car is yours. So it sounds like all these things are attached to activities. And there's one other one too that's it's a noir filter you can get like for the whole game, so it looks like you're in like an old gumshoe game. But that's via a new mission for Michael, like a crime
The murder
solving,
mystery.
the murder
Yeah.
mystery.
Now, have they said those specifically?
I'm not sure it's going to be as good as our murder mystery, but it'll be okay.
We'll find out soon. Is that it?
That's
For voting.
a
Yeah.
line or a still from the murder mystery. They haven't necessarily said how many of these things are going to be available in single player and multiplayer, though, have they?
I think
Like
they're
they
all going
talk
to be
about the
available in
blimp,
single player.
but they had a blimp previously that you could get if you
Oh
had
yeah,
a code.
but no, this is the better blimp.
Yeah, but I don't care about it in single player. I want it in multiplayer. Can I have it in multiplayer? That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, and once it transfers over, is the railgun going to be like you got to be rank 140? I think I'm 107, so I don't even have the minigun right now.
I think I'm like 15.
Oh, I know there are shooting range challenges for it.
Well, that's nice.
That's all I know.
That's
But maybe
shooting
that
range.
sheds some light on it for you. I'm not much of a GTA player. I'm a Red Dead player. Love riding around on horses. But like breaking traffic laws in cars is not really my bag.
A little bit harder to break a traffic law on a horse, I suppose.
Yeah.
You shouldered the carriage out of the way.
I think you can. Someone here in Austin was arrested last year for DUI, riding a horse drunk downtown. So you laugh, but it is possible to get in trouble.
Was it a Mountie? Was he here on vacation? 'Cause that would be amazing.
No, it was I think it was a cowboy from
We're
East
in
Austin.
Texas.
Far
It
East
was a
Austin.
cowboy.
Yeah, I think he wanted. I think
No, I'm
his,
saying Canadians on vacation.
yeah, I think his rationale was like I think he lived out like way East Austin. His rationale was he was too drunk to drive, but he wanted to go downtown, so he took his horse downtown.
Where do you have room to store a horse in East Austin? That's what I want to
It's
know.
like way the hell out there by the airport or something.
Oh, okay.
If you're on a horse, I mean, it's not that far.
Really east,
Yeah.
west.
I used to see horses riding around in the median of the divided highway up where I used to live in just south
Oh,
of
there he is.
Pflugerville. Hey!
Is he wearing chaps?
He's on a horse. What do
Does
you
look
expect?
like it, yeah. Was he going to bring the horse into the bar? What did he plan to do? Was he
you
going to
just-
hitch him to a sign
Yeah,
outside?
you hitch him. You find a police officer and be like, "Hey, keep an eye on my horse."
Maybe you now just like hook them up to parking meters.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, who's gonna steal a horse?
Who wouldn't steal a horse?
What if it's
Look,
like a mean
especially
horse?
on-
And it
Have you
bites
met
people?
drunk frat
Think
boys?
about this.
Seriously?
6th Street, everyone would steal that horse.
Yes, absolutely. That horse would be gone. The woman that walks around there with no shirt on would be riding it down the street.
Lady Godiva style.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
All right, here, let me read this thing. I want to remind everyone this episode of The Patch is brought to you by Hulu Plus. The greatest time in TV is the fall. Your favorite TV shows are coming back with new episodes, and new shows are premiering. And Hulu Plus is making this fall the best one ever. Right now, Hulu Plus has all the current season episodes of your favorite shows like Sleepy Hollow, Bob's Burgers, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. If you're not caught up on shows, catch up now on Hulu Plus. You probably watch Hulu on your computer. Hulu Plus is so much more. Hulu Plus lets you watch every episode of shows like South Park, Family Guy, and more. Hulu Plus works on your computer, smart TV, Roku, Apple TV, Xbox, Wii, PlayStation, pretty much any streaming device you already own. For only $7.99 a month, watch your fall shows anytime, anywhere. But if you're watching right now, you can get a free 2-week trial when you go to huluplus.com/patch. 2 weeks is better than 1, which is their normal offer. So make sure you go to huluplus.com/patch, get your extra free week, and they know we sent you. It's huluplus.com/patch for your free 2-week trial. Nothing beats free television content. We know what's not free content? The Call of Duty Advanced Warfare DLC pack.
What a segue.
That was smooth.
So I guess Advanced Warfare announced their season pass. It's $50 for 4 DLC packs. We are now at the point where a season pass pretty much costs as much as the game.
Yeah.
It's like if you buy the game and a season pass, it's a $110 experience.
Look, we were
Even worse is I see that and I go, oh yeah, well, but you get 4 things as opposed to 2 things, which is what Destiny's offering. It's a good deal. Like comparatively, it's a good deal. But if you look at it objectively, that's still so expensive.
It's true. And most of what, generally speaking, a Call of Duty expansion is either going to be all multiplayer or going to be multiplayer and cooperative.
Yeah, or new modes or something.
Yeah. Rarely do they, or I don't even know if they've ever added single player content in one of their DLC updates. I'm sure someone remembers one that I've forgotten.
Yeah.
But,
No, I know they've added co-op stuff.
Yeah.
Which has been cool, but I don't remember any
Yeah,
single player campaigns.
And so if you get the 4 DLC packs, you also get early access to DLC weapons and a bonus multiplayer map, Atlas Gorge, on day 1. So it makes me think back to when they had, was it Nuketown? where they had early access to this multiplayer map, and then they just took it out of the game.
That was a beloved map too. It's back now.
Yeah, it's back. It came back. People got really pissed off.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, no, you were just supposed to have it for like a week. Fuck you.
Yeah, what was the point?
People got really upset about that. Of course, so hopefully they've learned their lesson with Atlas Gorge.
They're also doing... go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say, they're also doing this weird thing where there is no day one. It's day 0, and if you go to Walmart, you can get it the day before it's out, which is really, let's all be honest, the day it's out.
Right, so normally if you pre-order, you get the day 0 edition, which means you get it the day before it comes out. Walmart said they're just going to sell it the day before it comes out. But here's the thing. If you pre-order something the day before, it's still pre-ordering. So theoretically, you could go to any store, like you could go to GameStop, whatever, pre-order it the day before, and then take it home with you.
What?
Well, you're not wrong, yeah. She's saying that it's all still pre-order until the day of release. So if you go there the day before and pre-order, it's all pre-order at that point because it's not a retail product. So you should be able to just buy it and take it home. So it's released.
It's only released at Walmart, though.
Right, but if you pre-order something and then you get to take it home the day before, if you go in the day before, pre-order it.
Oh, you get to take it that day?
Can you take it that day?
Yeah,
that's what like I would be picturing.
You can't call it not a pre-order if you can't buy it for real. Yeah. I think you're right. You've caught them in semantics, and that is my favorite thing.
So we're technically correct.
The weird thing about the Day 0 edition that Walmart's selling is it doesn't have any of the exclusive in-game content.
What?
Yeah, so like the in-game content we just talked about.
So wait, they're not selling the Day 0 edition, they're selling the Day 1 edition on Day 0?
It's a Day 0 edition that I guess is exclusive to Walmart.
You get exclusively
I think
denied all
Ryan
the extra
just had
content?
a stroke.
Yeah, it's like I don't know if there's just a mistake or if I'm misreading this. I'll read it exactly what it says. While Call of Duty Advanced Warfare Day 0 edition sold by Walmart won't have any exclusive in-game content right in the $60 package, the release events hosted at Walmart stores will yield some goodies for series devotees. Yeah, I don't know.
Sure.
Okay.
And also,
Sounds legit.
In an interesting twist, this seems like this is a very coordinated effort by Walmart, because that day, November 3rd, is also the day they're going to begin their nationwide used games program at all of Walmarts.
Oh.
So now you'll be able to trade in games and buy used games at every Walmart across the country. And they've been kind of testing this in select markets for a while, but this is the day it goes wide. And anyone who takes a game to trade in towards Advanced Warfare gets an extra 50% value applied to their Advanced Warfare purchase. So they're really trying to enter the game strong with a day early access and extra used game credit towards Advanced Warfare.
See, it seems like a weird time to be getting into the used game market when all of the game manufacturers and publishers are trying to push out of retail and into digital because of the used game market.
Yeah, but it's not going to go away.
It's not going to go away, but it seems like they're all trying to push into it when it's diminishing.
Yeah. Well, there's still a lot of money to be made there, I'm sure. I mean, GameStop is still doing it, and I'm sure they are still seeing a lot of return on that market. And Walmart has so much more visibility compared to even GameStop. I mean, there's a Walmart everywhere. So the real question to me is how they're going to move the inventory around, because with that many Walmarts, are there only going to be certain Walmarts that are dealing in used games?
I think
there's just no way to keep that kind of
stock. It makes me wonder if a lot of that stuff will go back into a center and then distributed back out to the stores.
Yeah, but nobody wants to do that. You don't want to go to Walmart and say, I want a used copy of this. I mean, they'll absolutely have to move things around on the back end like that, but the day you want to buy it, you want to go up to Walmart and you want to get off the shelf and take it and leave. You don't want to put it on layaway and come back for it tomorrow.
Yeah,
it is Walmart. You don't know that.
That's true. That is a big thing that happens at Walmart a lot.
They don't specify how many stores they're pushing out to or anything, but it does say that this is their first large scale permanent program. So I imagine it'll be just about every store.
The other thing that's kind of odd about doing it with this launch is Call of Duty is actually way down.
But it's still huge though.
It's still huge, but it's down 70% since Black Ops 2.
Yeah,
its sales have been dropping pretty significantly.
I think Ghost was down like 40, and then now this one's down. I can't remember if it's down.
Hold on, I'll look up the sales numbers because it was pretty crazy.
Black Ops 2. So which not necessarily does pre-order equate to number of units that'll be sold. A lot of people are just moving away from pre-orders just because it's easier to just buy it on the console day of.
Yeah, and those pre-order numbers probably don't count any of potential pre-orders on your console sales, because I think they normally carve out digital as a totally separate number from physical copies.
Yeah, and a lot of times that's almost impossible to get numbers on unless people specifically disclose how much was made in digital. That doesn't count via NPD and stuff like that unless they specifically disclose. So it's actually getting harder and harder to tell how a game is doing. But analysts are saying that that based on pre-orders, Advanced Warfare sales are likely to decline. They're pacing 40% behind Ghosts and 70% behind Black Ops 2.
Look at you nailing it.
Hey.
Ryan, the memory guy.
Like a steel trap that hasn't been oiled in 4 years. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We've been doing like a Call of Duty week leading up to Call of Duty in Achievement Hunter. A lot of those multiplayer games, I mean, it started really rough. It really hit its stride in Call of Duty 4. I'd forgotten how fun that game was to play.
Yeah.
And then it didn't really change a whole lot thereafter. Like, we got to Black Ops, and then they just started throwing a bunch of shit on the screen. Like, there was all these logos and emblems and just stuff covering it that kind of covered up the game behind it. But it's still really fun to play as multiplayer experience.
It seems like every iteration has just been that, just like iterative. It's not like a huge, revolution in design. But I've seen like the Advanced Warfare commercials on TV, and one of the things they flash on screen is like totally reinvented multiplayer, and I'm like, what does that mean?
I doubt it's totally reinvented.
Yeah. So
I'm sure it's tweaked. I'm sure it's improved. But let's be honest, if they totally reinvented multiplayer, the Call of Duty audience would roast them alive.
That's true. That's like kind of the problem with getting that big is like now you're at the mercy of a large fan base who really scrutinize every change you make.
Yeah, and you get into that weird territory where if you don't change it enough, everyone complains that it's the same year after year, which is a complaint that non-Call of Duty fans have about Call of Duty. If you change it too much, people will say, oh, this isn't the game franchise that I love, I'm out.
Though they've sort of gotten around that with Call of Duty because since they have multiple developers working on it, and each developer brings their own unique thing, like zombies or some of the different other modes. Or like the one, and see here, I don't remember which one does which, but I think Treyarch is the one that does the zombies.
Yes.
And then the other one.
No, yeah, Treyarch, yeah.
Okay. And then the one that always has the training thing at the beginning.
That's Infinity Ward.
There we go. So that keeps them a little bit different, but they are really cranking these out year after year,
also,
which is too...
This is the first full-fledged AAA game that's being developed with Sledgehammer as the sole, or as the lead development team on it. And Sledgehammer had previously helped out.
On DLC, right?
Well, they'd also helped out Infinity Ward ship a previous one.
It was like the last
it was after Vince Zampella got booted from Infinity Ward. Sledgehammer came in and helped him with the development of that game. So yeah, it was not Advanced War. It was the previous one before Black Ops 2, which
Modern Warfare 3.
Yes, it was Modern Warfare 3.
Or Black Ops was the one right before.
Black Ops was Treyarch, and so Modern Warfare 3 would have been Infinity Ward. So yeah, they came in and helped on that, and it seems like they have a good pedigree for working on that stuff. So, but it'll be curious to see how they execute. Taking themselves taking lead on it.
I wonder if they'll slow down. I mean, at this point, it might be time to kind of back off Call of Duty a little bit.
Well, they're slowing down insofar as they're now giving each of the developers 3 years to complete a game. By bringing Sledgehammer in and putting that in rotation. Now it doesn't take 2 years to make a game; it takes 3. So I think they're hoping to sort of bump up the polish and quality and just give the developers time.
Yeah, I think adding the third studio does not indicate they're slowing down.
Yeah,
I think we're going to continue to see a yearly beat and a yearly cycle.
Where do you go now? I mean, they've pretty much, let's face it, World War I and World War I doesn't really get a lot of coverage. World War II,
so you nailed
done.
it.
Yeah.
World War I.
Yeah, done. We're done with World War I.
No, we're not. Call of Duty, trench warfare. I'm fucking calling it right now.
We can do Civil War.
Civil War, yeah.
We're going to get up to the War of the Roses. They're going to be shooting roses all over the place. It's going to be crazy.
Call of Honor.
That's next gen.
Yeah. So, I mean, so they've stepped forward a bit with Modern Warfare and now with Advanced Warfare. And Advanced Warfare is, at least in terms of the movement, which that's a whole other thing now where movement is so critical in how games are done, like Titanfall, Sunset Overdrive, all these major titles that are shooters, and now also introducing like double jumps, dashes, just air movement, wall running. But I mean, after Advanced Warfare, are you going to have? They'll probably do Advanced Warfare 2, I suppose, but they just keep going to the future. Are they going to stick closer to home? What?
In space.
They did that with Battlefield 2142 was pretty solid, but I don't think it had nearly the hook that a lot of the ones that are more relatable, like World War II based or more modern based. I don't know. I don't know that the future games always do as well as present games, but the present wars are a little too close. Nobody wants to do like a Iraq war too much.
Yeah,
it's happened a few times.
You get a little bit of that. Was the line, Spec Ops The Line?
Yeah.
When it starts to get like uncomfortably
Yeah.
close. Although that was actually a great game. It just had a lot to say, and I think it might have made some people uncomfortable.
I heard a lot of great things about that game, about Spec Ops.
Me too. It was it Into the Jungle, Upper River? I don't know, it was based on Into the Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
Heart of Darkness.
Yeah,
there we go.
Into the Jungle, Upper River. I like it.
To grandmother's house we go. That's
Suck it, Joseph Conrad. You really missed an opportunity there.
Could have made it upbeat.
Speaking of traversing, I just started playing Sunset Overdrive as well. Great game.
It's got great writing.
I've been sort of like sitting there and hoping, like looking forward to it, but like almost worried to play it because I always worry that games aren't going to live up to sort of the trailers and the way they look. It's great.
Well, they did a good job of being very aware of the fact that it is a video game and like throwing away a lot of stuff that we just kind of take for, as being part of playing a video game. Like I was playing this one mission where I had to like jump up a building and crawl, and it's kind of far and you have to do all this stuff. And like I was nearly to the top and I fell. I was like, fuck, it's going to make me go from the bottom again. And then like I respawned like pretty much right where I fell. And like the in-game character turns to the screen and say, wow, thank God I don't have to jump up the whole thing again. I can just start from right here. I was like, yeah, I know. Thank God. I was expected to start from the bottom. It's like they're very aware of the things that people hate when it comes to games.
Yeah, I like that you can also wall run around the outside of a corner. And they're like, why not? It's a video game.
Sure. Keep going.
Sure.
Yeah, and you don't like dip and fall. Like you wall run in a straight line.
Oh yeah. And all the trailers have been really great and self-aware about that. Like, can you save the world? Of course you can. It's a video game. And all that stuff. It's colorful. I like colorful games. Like I got really over the sort of brown and sepia and like, look, we're being gritty and realistic. I just like color everywhere, and it's a vomit of color, so it's fantastic for me.
Yeah, when I first picked up a controller and like played it this summer at RTX, like I felt like it was hard to just jump into because the demo was obviously intended to be played by someone who's familiar with the game because they were giving the presentation. So I wasn't clear on how to grind and how to flip and how to do everything. But then as you play the game, it really does a good job of training you. And within like the first few minutes, you're just traversing the world, no problem at all, jumping and diving all over the place.
Yeah, I do like that the entire area, the whole city feels like it's basically a trampoline. It's so easy to jump and then like bounce off a car, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, it's been getting really good reviews so far. I didn't look at Metacritic on it or anything, but I think most of the reviews I've seen have been between the 8 and 10 range, which is really solid.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful game to not think about that much. It's you kind of get into like a zen state, sort of like the old days of Tony Hawk, where you're just moving, like you just bounce from thing to thing, and it's just like it's almost sort of like doing yoga or something, where you're in kind of this zen movement state, and it feels really good. Like you don't have to really concentrate that hard. You're just moving.
Also, you don't have to like worry about aiming too precisely.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of point your gun in the general direction, and
it's
the red
very
targeting
casual.
Yeah,
pops up. Like, all right.
I could definitely see that being aggravating for people who are used to really sort of unforgiving games that require absolute precision. But I like it because, like you said, it's fun. It's not realistic. You just kind of feel like really cool badass the whole time, and it helps you feel that way.
It frees you up to do all the movement stuff. I mean, if you were having to concentrate that hard on where exactly you were shooting, and there's no competitive multiplayer to it either. I mean, there's sort of competitive elements in the co-op multiplayer, but it's not like you're shooting other players. So if there's a little aim assist, or if it's basically auto-locking on things for you,
or a lot of aim assist,
it doesn't feel like clunky. It's not really in your way. It feels like you're just freed up to continue moving and bouncing and doing all this other fun stuff. There's still a fair amount of challenge. It's not what I'd ever call a hard game.
No.
Like you can do the whole thing without really dying more than a few times. And
Is there
that's
even
just
a
from
difficulty
carelessness.
slider in options, maybe?
I don't believe so.
I haven't
think
seen
so,
anything
no.
like that, but I've just been enjoying like this is great. This works for me.
Now some of the co-op stuff can get really hard. In fact, at the end of the day yesterday, I looked to see there's a global leaderboards. And you can see things like how much chaos people have completed. That's kind of like the mini games in the multiplayer lead up to a final night defense that has a difficulty based on how well you do in the mini games leading up to it and what you choose. And there'd been no one that had beaten the fourth one, which is the hardest one.
Wow.
At the end of the day, which it's release day. So I mean, that's not that surprising because there's still a lot of unlocks that people could do.
Well, it's been more than 24 hours, so I
haven't
think,
checked today. I'm sure by now someone has done it.
No doubt.
Yeah, I feel like almost there's, you're talking about unlocks. There's almost too much unlock, though. That's like my one problem
a lot of
with the game
collectibles.
is, it's oh, you unlocked a badge, you have enough badges to unlock an overdrive, but you're also making amps, and then you got to create the amp and then apply an amp to a weapon, or you can apply an amp to yourself. It's like, which ones are used? Like, I just get lost sometimes.
There's an overdrive slot, there's a amp slot for you, and then there's an amp slot on each weapon.
So you actually have 6 amp slots.
You have, I'm just talking about categories. You have 6 overdrive slots, you have 5 amp slots, and then each weapon has a single amp slot as well.
That unlocks after you get to a certain level.
That unlocks at level 2 of that weapon, and each weapon can level up to level 5. But it only it just gets better stats as it levels up. Level 2 is the only thing where an option opens up on the weapon.
So it can be daunting.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the achievement list. Is it going to be achievable?
I'm in 30, I think the in-game tracker says I'm like 30-something hours in, and I've got 1 achievement left to do, 1 or 2.
Okay.
And the stuff that took me a while, if I had had access to multiplayer, would have gone a lot faster. The longest, hardest things to do are really just leveling up your weapons to level 5. There's 1 achievement for getting 20 of them to level 5. But doing that in the multiplayer, they level up so quickly, it's kind of ridiculous.
What's your favorite weapon?
The most effective one I found so far is the hairspray launcher.
I like
that thing just blows up
love
everything
their weapons. They're so ridiculous.
I like the Roman candle launcher.
Roman candle's pretty good, but the hairspray launcher will take out just everything.
Well, the Roman candle has a large ammo capacity.
It does.
So you just start spraying everywhere.
But you can modify that with amps. With overdrive.
Yes.
Sorry.
I like that the first weapon you get in the game is called it's basically
the compensator.
The compensator.
And
it's like that. It immediately sets the tone for how serious they don't take weapons.
The weirdest weapon in that game, and it sounds odd to say it, is the AK-47.
Because it's a weapon.
Because it doesn't fit with everything else. It's like, oh, and here's a normal AK-47.
Yeah.
Like next to the compensator, which is a shotgun that has 2 giant testicles. And the TNT teddy launcher, which fires explosive teddy bears.
And the one that shoots records.
And the record launcher. And the hairspray cannon.
Even the Dirty Harry's kind of weird, which is like the giant revolver that shoots one at a time. Because again, it's like just
that is
a revolver.
Yeah,
just a big handgun.
Yeah, it's funny when you get to the point where you're like, ugh, a cool handgun. Boring.
I like that weapon. It drops stuff really fast.
You get that one pretty quick.
Right, but it's just a gun.
Well, it also doesn't have very much ammo. I think you can hold like 16 at base.
Wow.
So you have to make them count.
Yeah, using your overdrives wisely changes a lot of that game too.
And
overdrives and amps.
Another thing I like about that game is once you create your character, you aren't bound to it. Like at any point during the game, you can just visit an NPC and change gender, body type, like everything about your character. So
I want to put a mustache on mine. She is handsome.
Every time I see that that NPC, I walk up and I recustomize my character.
Yeah, it's great. I always spend a lot of time in the character creators being like, oh, I need to get this just right because I'm going to be tied to it for a couple hundred hours probably. So I went through the whole the character customization thing. I was like, I'm going to try a couple different changes, hair colors on this style and then this. And I finally got through that whole thing, started playing, and I was like, oh, I could have just changed this at any time.
Yeah.
Great. So I could have saved myself
and then you unlock customizations, and you can buy customizations.
I saw the body art, but I haven't unlocked any yet. So I'm going to get some sweet body tattoos.
That's another achievement. You have to get 250 items of clothing. But by the end of the game, see, that's another kind of weird thing about the game is there's like 12 currencies.
Yes.
There's
money.
Dollars. There's Overdrive, which is the sodas. And then there's 4 collectible types. Signs, fizzy balloons, toilet paper, and
shoes.
The security cameras.
And the sneakers.
Shoes.
Yeah.
All right. So those collectibles, which are things all the collectibles in the game you can get a map for. You just have to find one of any type, and then you can get a map. But all of those collectible types, the toilet paper, the security cameras, the signs, the fizzy balloons, and the shoes, are what you use to buy your amps. Your overdrive is what you use to buy your weapons, and the money is what you use to buy customizable options like clothing.
And you also use overdrive to buy the maps to find the other collectibles.
Yeah. So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and then you use
Bernie,
badges.
This is going to be the end of Bernie. I'm just listening to the types of collectibles, and just after watching him with Assassin's Creed, this is going to be...
Collectibles are really easy to get.
Collectibles are easy as shit, yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
I cleared all the collectibles really fast. And the funny thing about the collectibles in this game is usually their collectibles are one of the most tedious things in a game. Like, oh, God, I have to go spend an hour getting these. But the way that they've placed them generally in this game, it just ties into the whole traversing the atmosphere, the environment. So... you can I'm going from here to there. Well, there's 14 on the way because they just cover the map when you buy all the maps. And you just kind of like, oh, wall run here, grab this sign, drop down there, swing off this, grab the toilet paper up there onto the grind. And
even if you don't have the map, as you're just traversing, it's like you see it. You're like, oh, I'm just going to detour here, detour there. You don't focus on going a straight line to your objective. Mm-hmm. Like you just take like roundabout ways and you just find stuff as you go.
Yeah, it's the least tedious collectible I've ever done for something that has, 750 collectibles?
Is it that many?
Like, well,
150 of each type, I believe.
So we've identified at least 5. So yeah.
It's like, I had to collect 750 things, but that wasn't bad.
It really wasn't bad. Like I said, I think I'd had all of them at less than 20 hours into the game.
There are no crackdown orbs.
No. You don't have to chase them. Some of them require just a little bit of work to get to.
Shout out to Michael.
So it's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad we can finally talk about it. I finally heard. It took me a few days. I finally heard from our winner for the Sunset Overdrive Xbox. So I'm shipping that out today to him.
How did he win it? What did you have to make him do?
He just left a comment on a journal I posted on the Rooster Teeth website.
We've got another one.
And we've got another one actually right down here.
It lives on the set, and it
looks like a shelf. It's actually
it's now home to many stuffed animals that have been thrown at Ryan over the weeks.
So yeah, that's a white Xbox One down there. Everyone keeps wanting to take it. Like, oh, can I just give you a black one? You can put it there. Like, no, the black one doesn't show up. That's why Meg is upset. Like, the black ones don't show up. That's why we never had put a black console up there. So once we get a white PS4, it'll go on that side over there.
Aww, it's like family.
So moving on.
Yes.
Other news. I guess we finally have an official, actual release date for Battlefield Hardline.
March 17th.
March 17th, St. Patrick's Day.
And there's also a release window, finally, for Star Wars Battlefront. And that's holiday 2015.
Someday you'll get it.
Well, it's just considering that it was announced at E3 last year, and they just be like, look, here is footsteps down. That's what you get.
Well, at least I haven't seen anything. I'm happier about that.
They did show some gameplay, like a really, really brief clip of speeder gameplay through, I think it was Endor at E3 this year, but it was really, really
The
brief.
Forest Moon of Endor.
I'm sorry, the Forest Moon of Endor.
That's its full title. You can't say one without the other.
Oh, bad.
And they showed like some rough wireframes and stuff. They're like,
it was really early stuff.
Their love story to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
We like Star Wars a lot. But so it's nice that we finally have a date, considering that everyone saw the teaser last year and got super amped, and then just crickets for like another year.
Well, it was far enough out there. That's kind of to be expected.
I know, but why announce it that far out then?
Well, I kind of like that. I want them to put it in my mind that I should be looking for that game eventually, but I also kind of don't want to see anything.
Really, because Star Wars 1313... Like, I would rather not have known that ever existed.
It's almost like Age of Ultron. Like, I'm glad I know they're making it. I don't want to see a trailer.
Have you seen the trailer?
I've seen some of a trailer. It makes me sad because I would rather have just gone and seen the movie. And I kind of feel like Battlefront is one of those games where I don't care. I'm going to play it. So I want to go into it and just go, wow, this is awesome, or wow, this makes it very sad. But at least it'll be a fresh experience.
Right. But not everyone works like you, Ryan.
Yeah, well.
Why do you have to make it all about you? You're so selfish.
Maybe they don't know what they want.
So I'm going to springboard off of our Star Wars discussion here. I guess LucasArts, or not LucasArts, some LucasArts classics were re-released today on GOG.com. In particular, the ones I'm excited about are Star Wars X-Wing Special Edition, Star Wars TIE Fighter Special Edition. I'm excited about all of them. Sam & Max Hit the Road, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, Secret of Monkey Island Special Edition, and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. I already had Knights of the Old Republic in my Steam library, so that one I'm least excited about. But
I'd just like to shout out to Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah, I mean, they're... take it back. I thought they were redoing that. They're redoing Grim Fandango. But
Secret of Monkey Island's already been redone.
Yeah. So to see X-Wing and TIE Fighter come back out is I'm really excited about that. I still remember having the way you had launched that game back in the day if you were playing X-Wing was it was installed on your computer. When you went to launch it, it showed you a series of like runes, and you had to look in the instruction manual to see what planet those runes corresponded to, and then type in the appropriate planet. But of course, being like 14 years old, I lost the instruction book after a month or two. So then I just had to learn to memorize what the different runes meant. So after a while, it's like I didn't need the instruction book, and I was like, oh, Yavin, There you go. But it's like I could launch the game no problem
A
at all.
form of security that could not exist in the world of the internet.
Didn't they, like with the Leisure Suit Larry ones, it has a similar thing, but it would ask you a bunch of questions to make sure you were over 18. And you just memorize the answers, and then away you go.
It did, yeah. It had trivia. It was like, who was the president in 1962 or something?
Yeah, I also saw some where you had to, where it would say, what's, in the instruction manual on page 33, line 14, what's the 7th letter? And then you would have to like go and look in your manual and then type in that letter.
I miss those old school security measures. Like, it could not fly today. Like, nowadays you have to have like a dongle or something if you really want to secure it or encode it in some way. But those were just really creative. Like, also, I guess that goes too with the departure of all instruction manuals.
Yeah. I mean, you don't even get them in console games anymore.
Yeah, what is in the box consists of a couple of ads.
For other things, yeah.
Or it's like, sign up for our premium, Xbox Live or, PlayStation Plus, and here's a free sample of it.
Yep, pretty much.
That's about it. Speaking of PlayStation Plus, we're all about segues today.
Hey.
Yeah, look at you guys.
So we're running out of time. We've only got like 10 minutes left. So
I still need to talk about Fantasy Life.
So I'm trying to hit all the beats here. So the PS4 firmware 2.0 finally came out, which allows people to use the share play functionality, which I think is people have been looking forward to for a lot of time. This basically lets you play with another friend, even if they're not next to you, as if they are next to you. So you could hand off control of your game to someone else, or have someone else at another location play as player 2 in your multiplayer game.
Yeah, so it's cool that you can play with someone even if you don't own the game. I like that. It's kind of weird that they're like, oh, I can't get through this section of the game. Will you get through this section of the game for me? I have done that once or twice, but it's weird to think that needed a full feature.
I have never done that. I will be in the cold ground before I let someone finish a part of a game for me.
Oh, no, I made Bernie do a fight on Guacamelee because it was, every now and again you get just a part of a game or a specific boss fight or something that's made to defeat you specifically.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, like however my brain works, that one match was made so that I could never beat it. I spent like an hour and a half with Bernie, and he beat it in like 5 minutes.
Also, the example they use that we just played in that video in Infamous Second Son is like the first part of the game. It's like when they first teach you to hit the circle button.
I just can't walk through this fire. There's a clear path, but I keep going left.
It's like literally, it's like a part of the training mission.
Yeah. I think of it almost more as now you have the opportunity to demo games and then decide if you want to buy it. Like you can borrow your friend's game for an hour at a time.
So if you have PlayStation Plus, you can let a friend play the game whether or not they have PlayStation Plus.
Right.
If you want to do cooperative, like let's say you both want to play, the example they use, if you both want to play a game of FIFA, like player 1, player 2, both of you have to be PlayStation Plus members. So there's some weird, well, I shouldn't say weird, there are some things you need to keep an account for, right? But for the most part, it seems like it's really smooth. Also, I guess whoever is streaming, the receiver of the streaming, it maxes out at 720p, but if you're playing locally, it's still 1080p.
I'm curious how responsive
makes
that
sense.
is. Yeah, I mean, if you're streaming it, then it definitely makes sense.
Yeah, because you don't have to install the game, so you are streaming it from the other person's console.
Also, they've been really cagey and non-committal about explicitly saying how much bandwidth is needed in order to do this effectively.
A lot. No,
they said it's actually very low. They said they won't disclose recommended upload and download speeds. And their quote was, the internet environment is really different user by user. For example, some users will be using a LAN cable. Some users will be using Wi-Fi. Sometimes you use a microwave in your house. It's very difficult for us to guarantee that you can use SharePlay if you have a certain speed.
Yeah. That's how I get internet and Hot Pockets.
And that was SCEE Product Planning Manager Kazuhiro Yanase.
Yeah, but if you're going to be uploading 720p so that someone else can downstream 720p, you're going to need, you're not going to be able to do it on your 56K modem. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure you need broadband. I mean, I would imagine it's like 2.5 megabit.
I'm sure it's the exact same requirements for streaming 720 on like Twitch. And
right.
The only thing is you're doing that and then you're adding in just an input.
Yeah.
But usually when you're streaming something to the internet, there's an inherent lag that's associated with that. Mm-hmm. So you're streaming in real time.
So that's probably why they don't want to say it'll work with specific internet speed, because there's probably also latency and like a jitter that you have to worry about as well.
Yeah, for shooters and stuff that where latency is a real killer, I'm not sure it's going to be a great experience.
Now, you tried out the streaming service that Sony's offering, right?
PlayStation Now?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
I have.
Thought someone. Oops, it's empty. Don't worry. You've tried it.
Yes.
You said there was input lag on that, right?
Yes, there was some input lag. I also have. I should bring it on the patch one of these days. I also have an NVIDIA Shield, like the thing the tablet we talked about, and you can play that. And every time you launch, they call it Grid. Anytime you launch Grid, which is their cloud gaming service, it tests your transfer speed as well as your latency and your network jitter. And then it gives you a report card every time you launch it, and it gives you a report card telling you whether or not you can have an optimal experience.
Yeah. Wow.
So I think that there's a lot of network considerations to think about.
There are.
Mm-hmm. All right, what's this fantasy thing you're going on about?
Okay, so I'm going to assume that neither of you have been playing Fantasy Life.
No.
Gus,
All the time.
Gus, you played Animal Crossing,
Love
right?
Animal Crossing.
This might be something that appeals to you. It's got that sort of Animal Crossing visual aesthetic in that it's cartoony. It's that same sort of isometric view. The characters are kind of cute and round. But then it turns out it's also an open world Japanese RPG where you can be a tailor, you can be a cook, and you can apparently play through the whole game as a cook if that's what you want. I started as a paladin with pink hair.
So you can be a paladin or a cook.
But you both.
Can you be a janitor?
You can be a miner.
Same thing.
A miner?
You
like
can be a carpenter.
Someone under the age of 18?
You can be a tailor.
I think that would be most of the people playing it.
It's like you can switch, and you can switch between any of the classes whenever you want, and you get to keep whatever skills you earned in the previous class. So, say I started as a paladin, and I've leveled up a bunch of stuff, and then I get to a mission, because all the people all around the world, they don't do shit for themselves. They're all like, oh, could you catch me a fish? Or can you go gather mushrooms for me? Or can you make me a sleeping potion? And so you'll need certain skills from maybe alchemy in order to do that. So you switch to a class, you need to level up, do your stuff, and then solve all these people's
That
problems.
sounds annoying. That sounds annoying as shit.
You're talking about NPCs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're basically, your role is to enable a giant planet full of lazy people.
Sort of,
By being the busiest motherfucker in the world. Like, listen, I'm already a level 20 paladin. I don't have time for your level 3 cook bullshit.
Yeah. Or you can just screw off and go, do all your other stuff. You can kill things, you can collect stuff, you can go straight through the story missions if you want. It's actually really cool. It's probably a bad idea for someone like me, because I'll probably max all of the classes out, and I'll go through and I'll make sure that I do every mission. I keep accepting every mission I come across, because I'm like, oh, what if it's not there later? I want to make sure I do all of them.
Didn't you spend like 2 hours in character creation?
Yes, I might
Just
have.
choosing the pink hair, or?
I wanted to make sure it was the exact right shade, and I wanted to get the cute eyes to go with it. And
Is
I
that
got
the character creator?
Yes.
She
and
spent
I wanted
2 hours in that.
And I wanted to get like a nice smirk, or
only
I was
9
debating
steps.
between
It's
scary
like a
teeth.
me creation.
Yeah, I probably spent 2 hours in that too.
Oh, God.
I spent ages in character creation. I once had a demo of Oblivion before it came out. It was like an hour long, and I spent the entire hour bitching to the PR guy about how I couldn't make a hot chick.
The chicks were not very hot. I give you that.
They were not.
Everyone looked
no one in
rough, let's be
Oblivion was
honest,
attractive.
yeah.
That was just like a thing. It's just
There was not a
everyone
looker.
was living a little bit rough.
It was a hard life.
It started with the orc and just went down from there.
Speaking of the orc,
Oh?
Wow.
I can't wait to hear how this ties in.
World of Warcraft has a bunch of television commercials that they're airing now, I guess in anticipation of Warlords of Draenor, and all of them are very orc-focused and orc-heavy. And I watched them, there's like 4 of them. And the thing I realized is that they did the same thing with Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls when they had those TV commercials where they don't show gameplay. Like, it's just cinematic. So, like,
why would they?
Like, when Reaper of Souls came out, here's the Reaper of Souls TV commercial. My wife would see that commercial. She goes, "Oh, do you play that game? The game looks really scary." I'm like, "Yeah, you see me play that game all the time." And I switched over and showed her. She's like, "That's the commercial for that game?"
Yeah, Blizzard loves their cinematics. They're really good at them. I would actually love to see Blizzard just make a full-length animated movie because they do a great job on their cinematics. But it's true, they don't look anything like the games.
Yeah, so I mean, it definitely captures the emotion and the spirit of the game, but looks nothing like that game.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny because Blizzard's had a really high level of cinematic forever. I mean, as far back as I can remember, there was a really nice looking
I remember
cinematic
the first
in
Diablo,
World War
and I was
II.
like,
Diablo or
Warcraft 2.
Warcraft 2 and Diablo. And it's funny, like other
World War
games.
II had
yeah,
amazing
World War II,
cinematics.
amazing cinematics.
But the actual,
So lifelike.
That's why they're still making
in-game
games.
graphics, nah.
I mean, so it's like their cinematic level just kept getting better and better and better. And a lot of other game companies, the cinematic and the gameplay have just sort of merged, where you get to the same in-game cinematics. But they just keep pushing higher and higher. And their games are all third person, generally speaking. So you wouldn't really have call for the kind of graphics that they use in the cinematics.
No, not really.
But it makes it worth playing the game just to watch the movie of the game.
Right.
And then they decided to make a movie of the game. And
we'll see how. Well, no thumbs down yet, but anticipating.
I'm going to go ahead and preemptively give it a thumbs down.
Ryan.
I'm reserving the second one, but it's getting the one right now.
You better be careful. You might get the other one.
You got one thumb. You don't want.
You don't want to be two thumbs in the grave.
All right, we're pretty much at time. The last thing I want to mention before we go is the Xbox One is getting a $50 price drop just in time for the holidays.
And it's a temporary price
from
drop.
November 3rd to January 2nd, I believe. January 2nd or 3rd.
Something like that.
You'll get $50 off. So
Do you think Sony will shoot back?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think we may see it. I mean, I think Microsoft's looking to close the sales gap. And this is a good way to do it. And I think if Sony wants to be really brutal and put their boot on the throat, you drop it 50 also and match it.
Yeah, in which case we all win.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, that's why we should all be happy that there's a healthy competition between two companies, because you get things like this, and it even covers the bundles, like the Assassin's Creed Unity bundle. Which,
by the way, is weird. Why is Dance Central included in the Assassin's Creed bundle?
I mean, haven't you ever just been stabbing people and thought, man, if only I could do this to music?
And
if they have like a cool stab dance in there, suddenly it would all be worth it.
Stabbing, shooting, stabbing.
And I believe that Ryan has volunteered to be the new choreographer for Dance Central. You heard it here first.
I'll do it. Let's go.
All right. Well, we're at time. We got to wrap up. So thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next Monday with an episode of RT Podcast, next Tuesday with an episode of Screenplay, and then next Wednesday we'll be back here again with the patch. Bye.